Hi, Caspar, on the 22nd of March 2023. Look, I've got a red Burgundy here. This is a wine I laid down myself on the offering did of 2014 Burgundies, and it's a Savigny-lès-Beaune. And Savigny-lès-Beaune and Pimentiers are sort of, in terms of difficulty in selling, sort of the Massenet and Fissin of the Côte de Beaune. Hard to pronounce. People are a bit wary of them. A bit out of the way. Too cheap. Not a glorious reputation, which makes the opportunity for securing a value, a bit of a bargain, that much stronger. And look, the people feel they don't understand wine, and I think that's fair. And I think, if you have a decent wine merchant, they help you. If not to understand it, then to find wines that you want to drink. But I think equally misunderstood is the way to serve wine, and I think people, will chill white wines down to fridge temperature, take them out, pull the cork out, pour it out, and make a decision about whether they like it based on that first sip of fully cold white wine. Whereas by far the majority of white wines are better for a period of warming, having been chilled, and many of them, especially those with a bit of age on them, are better for having breathed for a while. Champagnes I include in that. And look, here's another one. So opening this is 2014 Savigny-lès-Beaune Les Pimentiers from domain Camus-Bruchon, and I love the wines. I think they're among the finest of the village. They don't pretend to be sort of terribly modern, but they are expressive. Tend to be from very, very old vineyards, which is a good thing. And indeed, this says Vieille Vigne on the label. I'm not sure what it says in terms of alcohol, just 13%. Savigny-lès-Beaune, like Pernod, it's a bit sort of cachet as a commune. It's a bit hidden off the tourist trail. In recent years, it's ended up with some pretty atrocious climatic disasters, sort of hailstorms just rolling along and parking over the commune and destroying much of the harvest. So they've had some pretty bad fortune in recent years. Anyway, when I first opened this, and I've just had my case delivered and wanted to get stuck into it, and these are, Burgundy, as I say, Savigny-lès-Beaune, quite a tricky sell anyway. But to sell wine from Savigny-lès-Beaune, tricky sell, wine that's not that expensive, really, in certainly not in Burgundy terms. It's really remarkably good value. But it does need to age, and a lot of people who lay down wine don't want to blow 180, 250 pounds a dozen on a case of wine and then age it for 8, 9, 10 years. And I don't really fully understand that sort of mindset. But when I first opened it, texture there, fruit there, but a sort of bitterness at the finish. And I think people who don't understand about serving wine pull the cork out, pour it out, go, oh, I don't like that, let's open something else, and it possibly would be added to the salad dressing in a week's time, or pour down the sink. But give it the time of day. It's got a lively, crisp, well-defined nose of red, particularly red, crunchy hedgerow, rosehip fruit, lively. It's got a slightly floral aspect to it as well. It smells fresh. It smells refreshing. Mm. And it's got super fruit texture, and the tannins that come along are very fine. There's an almond quality within the structure, but that rosehip snap. It's a zippy, refreshing wine that immediately makes you think, I'd love some food with this. It's a wine to have at the table. Another problem, a lot of people want red wine that they can drink while watching the footy on TV or just chatting with friends, and most red wine really is designed to be consumed with food, and this is certainly an example. I would say absolutely no hurry to drink this. It's lively, the acidity is really, really firm, which I think really means that you'd want to drink this with something quite sort of fatty. So a piece of lamb would be perfect. Belly pork, superb. Um, but it's got style. I think it's got a style that, in modern parlance, where we're used to sweetly ripe, high alcohol wines that go down very easily, I think some people might find it a bit cerebral, a bit possibly old-fashioned, a bit difficult to understand. Which Pinter plays are difficult to understand. It's the reward is in trying to get inside it and understand it, and I like it. I must say, it takes you on a journey. And it's refreshing, and it's just 13% alcohol. Two things that are increasingly rare in a glass of wine. So hats off to Guillaume Camus, who's a lovely chap, and I think makes lovely wine. There we are, 2014 Savigny-lès-Beaune, Les Pimentiers, and I've asked him what Pimentier means. I asked him if it's a tree, but it's not a tree, and I can't remember what he said. Anyway, Vieille Vigne Cuvée, 2014 from Camus-Bruchon. Really lively and rewarding red Burgundy. I'm enjoying it.